Terms. Reciprocal gift exchange. The New Zealand tribal culture of presenting gifts to others and expectations of gifts in return. It is a social significant tradition. Kava hay crap from the Pacific Islands that is used by the tribals as a social drink, much like alcohol, and its effect tastes like dirt. Separation. Males and females. The Aborigine children, females, were separated from their families to prevent the continuation of the culture and therefore infuse them into the white culture to eventually homogenize the population. Purse. Gender. A bag carried by both genders of Pacific Islanders for the purpose of their gender roles. Women use them as a pocketbook, men as a work bag. Betel nut. A nut that grows on the South Pacific. Palms used by the populations to do just about anything, including medical, personal, or cosmetic use. It's also used as a form of chew, like in American chewing tobacco. Marie, Tahiti, New Zealand, a sacred memorial spot to the dead. Share breath. Hangi, a South Pacific ceremonial greeting. Cargo cults, mixture, a belief system by the tribes that developed during the World War II. Airdrops for the tribes in Southeast Asia. These airdrops were a belief that they were gifts from an unknown entity and were expected to continue. Globalization, Italian, indigenous, is the process over time that changed the Polynesian cultures with the influx of European and North American products, traditions, as well as technology. Aboriginal languages. Over 300 tribal dialects in Australia. Maori, the indigenous Polynesians that eventually found their way to New Zealand and settled in a massive immigration. Indigenous rights. The same rights as all throughout the South Pacific tribes to be granted as they are to the whites. Terra nullius, a term in Australia meaning land belonging to no one. Stolen generation. Under white law, the process of removing Aboriginal children from their families by force to mold them into a European culture. Sorry Books, a collection of books apologizing for the mistreatment of the Aboriginal families. Treaty of Waitangi reinterpreted. Originally, this treaty promised the Maori culture a guaranteed maintenance of their lifestyle and ways while giving the Crown the power of government. When New Zealand became independent, the reinterpretation removed the Crown's authority. Haka, a ceremonial dance in Maori culture usually conducted in conjunction with football or rugby. Subsistence affluence. The majority of the people in the South Pacific rely on subsistence agriculture for their livelihood, and this term has been used to describe those societies where the community basically feeds itself.